Today we are starting with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if everyone could please rise for that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I have an announcement for Veterans Day. Today, we would like to honor all of the veterans across the country and the world who have served our country, including members of our own middle school family, like Mr. Anish and Mrs. Ewing, who both served in the Army. Thank you, Mr. Anish and Mrs. Ewing, for your service. Now, Mrs. Salzano would like to say a few words, so I'm going to turn it over to her.
All righty. Thank you, Austin. Hello, middle school. It's nice to be with you on this rainy Wednesday afternoon. And it's also going to be my pleasure in just a moment to turn this program over to Ms. Ewing, who's going to share with us some information about her years of service in the Army. But before we do that, I just want to acknowledge all the yellow stars that have been put up in the building, friends, family members who have served and we are honoring today. You may know that in May, the last Monday of May, we have what's called Memorial Day. And that day is set aside to actually remember and honor those people who served the United States military and lost their lives in doing so. Today, Veterans Day is set aside to honor those folks who have served our country. And many of those veterans, of course, are still alive. On a personal note, my father was in the United States Coast Guard during the Korean conflict, and my nephew served 4 years in the Marine Corps, and he just got out of the Marines just a couple of years ago. He left as a captain. So Veterans Day has an enormous personal meaning for me as I remember my dad who has passed, and I think about my nephew who served our country. I also just want to extend personal thanks to Mr. Anish and Ms. Ewing for what they've done. And now it's my pleasure to turn this over to Ms. Ewing so she can share with us some more information about Veterans Day as well as her experience. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Salzano, Ms. Brown, and Mr. Anish for asking me to share my military experience today. To my colleagues who provided guidance and suggestions while I was preparing this presentation. A veteran is a former member of the Armed Forces of the United States, which includes Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, who served on active duty during wartime and peace. Just some current statistics. There are currently 17 million veterans in the United States today. About 2 million of those are female veterans, and about 50% of those veterans are over 65, and about 8% of those veterans are 35 years or younger. Just a little trivia here. The oldest living veteran from World War II, his name is Lawrence Brooks. He was born on September 12, 1909. He's 111 years old, and he currently lives in New Orleans, Louisiana. He served from 1941 to 1945 in the U.S. Army in the Pacific with the Army's 91st Engineer Battalion as a support soldier. A little history of Veterans Day. Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress passed a resolution in 1926, and November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Veterans Day is different than Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the fourth Monday in May, which honors American service members who died in service or as a result of injuries occurred during battle. In addition, Britain, France, Australia, and Canada also commemorate veterans of World War I and World War II on or near November 11th. Canada has Remembrance Day, while Britain has Remembrance Sunday, which they will observe 2 minutes of silence at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. A little bit about my background. When I was a sophomore in high school, I wanted to wear a uniform and serve in the military. Even though my dad served in the United States Coast Guard Reserve, my family was still surprised by my choice, but it was the best choice for me. While in college, I joined the Army ROTC program, so I graduated college and I was commissioned an officer. While in college, I earned a spot and successfully completed airborne and air assault school because I set high physical standards and skill competence goals for myself that worked to achieve for me. For me, I joined the military to take an oath to represent the American flag and support the freedoms we have as a nation. These are the places that I was stationed at. Fort Bliss is where I received my initial training. While in Germany, I was in Budapest and Saudi Arabia. I appreciate each and every experience I had meeting other military officers and experiencing other cultures. In July 1993, I was commissioned as second lieutenant in the Air Defense Artillery, and 6 months later, I was stationed in Germany. At 22 years old, I was a unit leader responsible for 25 soldiers and several $1 million worth of equipment. These 3 pictures are some of the equipment that I used to work with. The picture on the left is a launching station, and the center picture is the computer console that I sat behind to operate the system. And the other truck was a command center. Next, I have 3 short videos of some of the things I experienced. The first video is of the Patriot system I worked with while in the military.
The primary surface-to-air missile system, or SAM, in use by the United States Army, is the MIM-104 Patriot. The phased array tracking radar to intercept the target component of the missile has given the name to the U.S. Army's primary high-to-medium air defense, or HIMARS system.
Let's go, keep going.
Having been tasked with the Army's anti-ballistic missile system as its primary mission, the Patriot uses high-performance radar and an advanced aerial interceptor missile to destroy enemy aircraft and weapons.
All right, there we go, Mrs. Ewing. Sorry for the interruptions over and over again.
Thank you, Mr. Anish. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my experience today with all of you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and enjoy your afternoon.
Neat. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Just a quick reminder about the food drive. There was great need at this time of year and in the middle of a pandemic to support families in need. Until Tuesday, December 1st, you can bring in donations and show how Ravens lead with others and really make a difference. There are 3 centralized places to bring in canned food. There is a box for each grade in the middle school building, and there are signs around the building for suggested items to bring in. Ravenscroft Middle School has been a leader in the community in the past, so let's keep working together to support others. And our goal this year is to get 1 can of food for every student in the middle school. And Ms. Lozano with some information about the use of Chromebooks.
All righty. Thank you, Ethan. And I'm just going to piggyback on that. You know, our goal should be at least 1 can of food per middle school student. And let's add faculty to that and maybe say even double it, because as Ethan said, we've been a leader in that area for so many years. And probably this year more than ever because of the pandemic, we have great needs in our community. I want to talk just for a moment, middle school Ravens, about your Chromebooks. You might remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made an announcement about being very careful about social media and remembering that you are a Raven wherever you are. I just want to remind you that your Chromebook is actually the property of Ravenscroft. You might also know that in our handbook, there is a digital citizenship policy that we expect everybody to adhere to. The last thing I want you to know in regard to this is because your Chromebook is school property, we actually have access to what you are accessing on your Chromebook. And sometimes that means I might come and ask you about what you've been looking at, or another member of the middle school administrative team. And I share that with you because I just want to remind you to be responsible and to be thoughtful in the way that you use your school issued Chromebook. I'll certainly have individual conversations when those are needed, but I also just wanted to make a general reminder to the middle school community. We can do the right thing, and I know that you will. Thanks so much. I want to also, again, thank Mr. Anish and Ms. Ewing, and I believe there's going to be one more. Mr. Anish is going to come up. I should mention, we've had a deluge of rain in the last few minutes, and I don't think the rain is over. So please be very careful when you are walking in and about the building. The floors will be wet, the sidewalks will be wet, etc. So be careful and stay dry. Mr. Anish?
Thank you very much. I just want to provide a little clarity and a reminder about our snack time that we have right before our class that we're to start at 10:25. That is not a designated break time for students to, in a sense, hang out and meet with their friends and chat for 10 minutes. That extra time was in response to you saying you couldn't find time in your day to be able to have a snack before lunchtime. So this time is for you when you get out of class at 10:20 to find a spot to be able to take off your mask and to be able to eat your snack. Those of you that are not having a snack at that time and have found a way to have it earlier in the day or maybe a little bit later, then that's time for you to be in class. This is not a designated 10-minute break time. So please, if you have questions, please let me know, and I will help clarify some of the expectations for that time for you guys. Thank you very much. I was out today. I saw a couple groups of students doing the right thing. You're having a good conversation while eating your snack. You were appropriately distanced while having your mask off, and that makes me feel safe. And I want you guys to realize that that's what we're getting at here, is to make sure that we're staying safe, especially as our weather starts to get a little bit colder and we spend a little more time indoors. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to Ethan.
Hello, middle school. So I would just like to wish some happy birthdays. So on November 11th, happy birthday to Ethan McLaren. On November 12th, happy birthday to Taylor McMichael. On November 13th, happy birthday to Charlotte Hinson and Pooja Patel. And on November 15th, let's wish a happy birthday to Hannah Morgan. And let's all sing them all happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you. And finally, every Raven.
Every day.
Thank you, middle school.
Thank you, guys.